Predator Badlands has now dropped its first official trailer. Admittedly, this is one of the movies coming out this year I've been most curious about, and we finally have our first footage, but also dropping some shocking reveals about the future of the Predator and Alien franchise. So that's exactly what I'll be doing here for you guys, is giving you my trailer breakdown for Predator Badlands, pointing out the little details you might have missed, Easter eggs here and there, as well as giving you my reaction to the trailer, because right now Predator fans are all pretty much saying one thing about this trailer.
One ugly motherfucker.
So please, leave me your opinion if this looks like the refreshing best step for the franchise. Are you liking where things are looking to be headed, or would you have rather have them done something else? But right, getting into it here, just a quick summary with what's been happening with the Predator franchise. It feels like the last couple of movies have been attempting to reboot the series. Whether you're talking about Predators, The Predator, or Prey. To me, The Predator left such a sour, bad taste in my mouth. It kind of just deflated the franchise to the point that when they finally decided to make a new movie, Prey, they thought it would be best just to make it straight to streaming. And I think that ended up being one of Disney's biggest regrets with the franchise, because director Dan Trachtenberg went back to basics and delivered a pretty great Predator movie. So it totally makes sense why he's helming the next two projects. He's going to give us an animated Predator film this summer on Hulu. That's going to be an anthology following 3 different stories of Predators in different times fighting samurais, World War II soldiers, and even Vikings. But now here with Predator Badlands, we are set in the far off future where they're really trying to mix up the formula from what you expect from a Predator film. Some of the big changes include the Predator is now the main character of the movie. This Predator in particular is a rogue Predator that's actually been outcast by his species. And remember, the Predator species, also known as the Yautja, are known for going planet to planet hunting down the biggest prey they can find. One of the early shots in the trailer is a trophy wall, something we get a lot in the Predator franchise. And you can see they've been doing this for such a long time, where they even fought a T-Rex. Okay, I need that to be the next prequel. Predators versus dinosaurs? How have you not made that movie yet? But there's also a couple of other unique skulls. Of course, you have your human ones, but this one here in the center is a pretty interesting Easter egg that pays homage to the movie Independence Day, with this skull head looking to be the same shape as the aliens from that movie. Other people have said it could be Steven Spielberg's War of the Worlds aliens, but I think it makes more sense to go with the Independence Day aliens. Not really that big of a deal. I think it's just a little nod, but I love when they fill out the world like this. And if we actually take a look at the first poster of this movie that I do think looks pretty cool, the tagline reads, "First Hunt, Last Chance," which I think will give us an insight into what this Predator's mission is. In the Predator lore, there is something called a bad blood. This is a phrase to describe a Yautja who has turned against their own kind and severely violated their honor code. With the first part of the tagline reading "First Hunt," is this a Yautja who has maybe never gone hunting, has maybe been faking his trophies, or is possibly against fighting altogether? For all we know, he might have just sang Taylor Swift's Bad Blood.
'Cause baby, now we got bad blood. Hey!
But the part of the tagline that reads "Last Chance," it seems like this mission that he's about to go on is his final attempt to maybe prove himself and be reaccepted into a species. That's just a theory. I'm gonna be very curious to see what the exact reasoning for why he got outcast. But the next thing that this movie is also mixing up and doing different from other Predator movies is it looks like this isn't taking place on Earth. Although yes, this movie takes place in the far off future, from the landscapes, the sky, and even some of the environment we get from this trailer, it feels like this is an alien world. And again, I love that, because they're supposed to be hunters all across the galaxy, but they're always landing on Earth and they're always losing to people on our Earth. I think it's so cool that we finally get to explore the cosmos with these Predators. Before jumping into some more mind-blowing details and things that plant the seed for Alien vs. Predator, let's just talk about it. Most fans, and even myself, are not loving the design of this new Predator. Predator, but I think there's actually a pretty good reason for why it looks really off to us. So when looking at this specific kind of Predator, his face is just giving real uncanny vibes, and I think what they're attempting to do here is, because the Predator is now the main character, and we're supposed to sympathize with this Predator, actually be on its side and root for him on his mission, they are now doing some things where they're kind of tweaking the usual Predator design to make it slightly more sympathetic, which is really hard to do when you already naturally give the Predators really small beady eyes, and usually small beady eyes are a natural indicator in our instincts of something evil. That is why the Na'vi and Avatar have really big eyes to make them more friendly and appealing to us. Not just that, but it looks like they put more detail into his facial structure with like his eyebrows, his cheekbones, again, so he can convey emotion. And so this is unfortunately, I guess, the kind of sacrifice, because I think back when they made the Predator franchise, they never thought we would get to the point where we would start making the Predator the good guy. But if I'm also being honest, I don't know if they had to tweak the design all that much, because when I think back of the first time I watched Alien vs. Predator, I was pretty sympathetic to that one Predator who tagged along with the human fighting off the xenomorphs, and I even felt bad when he died in that movie. Still though, I'm gonna trust the process, and I bet after 5 minutes of seeing him on screen, you just get used to it and roll along with it. But jumping off that point, with this Predator being the main character, something else you know about Predators is they don't really speak English. And that's where Ella Fanning's character comes in, because she'll be joining this rogue Predator out on his mission. Now, her backstory has been pretty mysterious. All that we have heard is that she is a twin sister and that she will be exploring the world for the first time. But this trailer finally dropped the bombshell and fully revealed the mystery behind her character, and it looks like she's a Weyland-Yutani android. There's a quick shot here where her eyes go white, and if you zoom in, you do get the Weyland-Yutani logo. And for those of you who don't know, Weyland-Yutani is the corporation that consistently shows up in the Alien franchise and also makes all the androids that have been in every Alien movie. Looking like now we are finally planting the seeds to eventually lead into a future Alien vs. Predator movie again, and I freaking called it, man. As soon as I knew Disney bought Fox and they would start making Predator and Alien movies, they would Avengerify it and somehow lead into that crossover again. We know Alien Romulus is going to be getting a sequel. No word yet if those characters will lead into this or it'll just kind of be its own separate story, which is kind of what I prefer, because I still like when Alien does its own thing, but I mean, I'm not going to reject a new Alien vs. Predator movie. But even just stepping back from that point, including the Weyland-Yutani androids into this movie and pairing it up with a Predator, I love that idea. She's most likely going to end up working as the voice for the audience, because she'll probably be able to understand whatever the Predator is saying and then kind of convey it to the crowd watching the movie. She'll also end up being kind of a good sidekick for him, just kind of informing him of things he's unaware of, helping him throughout his final hunt.
You're hunting something that can't be killed.
And well, even speaking about his final hunt, we do get a hint of that in the trailer, because it seems like they send out an unkillable beast to take down this Predator. Again, just even more fascinating stuff that they're including in there, because if we're in the Alien universe and we're talking about unkillable beast or the perfect organism, then you would just probably think about a xenomorph. And heck, maybe for all we know, this could end up being some sort of science experiment done by the Weyland Corporation, because in the final battle shot here with this beast, there is a broken down construction truck with the Weyland-Yutani logo. So maybe this beast he's fighting is part xenomorph mixed in with something else. Either way, this is all feeling so much more refreshing, so much more exciting. It feels so good to be pumped about both the Alien and the Predator franchise again, when just a couple movies ago, I was just kind of on the series. Well, maybe not Alien, because I did enjoy Covenant and Prometheus. But for Predator, it definitely felt like they were running out of steam, and now they've got such an exciting, cool idea. I'm looking forward to it. I throw it off to you guys. You see everything going down in Predator Badlands. Are you excited for it? What are your theories? And how do you think the best way to lead to an Alien vs. Predator movie should go? Anything, everything, be sure and like, subscribe. Follow me on Twitter at 3C Films or on TikTok at 3C Films. But as always, I'm Chris. Take care.